I don't know. I stole from my roommate. Yeah, because my mom has horrible taste in pie.
What's up, movie buffs? Hope you're having a good Saturday morning so far. I am looking at my stream, and it looks to be doing its good old-fashioned freezing still. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to continue streaming shitty-looking videos. Oh, man. It's been bad for the last couple of days, and in fact, I had a friend who is also an IT technician come over yesterday and spend some time getting things set up. I mean, that was the whole we spent hours yesterday making sure that we crossed our T's and dotted our I's, and here we are again with some laggy ass shit. What's up, Stephen Frazier, Daryl, and King of the Hills 34? Hope you guys are doing all right this morning. Mark McKeever. Oh, we are on the... Well, I hate to call it that. We are commemorating the 1 year since the passing of Chadwick Boseman today. I did not realize that. I'm completely freezing up, right? You guys let me know. If you're here, do me a favor, take a second to click the like button. That will at least help out. I just... After Thursday, I don't want to stream for 2 hours and then not be able to even watch the video afterwards. So y'all let me know what the quality of the video is looking like. I'm just going to have to go, yeah, 4 frames a second, but it's fine. Is it very, very blurry? I wonder if there's any sort of settings I can switch here. Probably not while I'm running. Let's see. All right. Yeah, it's interesting because it's saying excellent connection. No, I can see your stills clearly. Not blurry, but stuttery. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate it. I'm just going to have to continue to work on this. Let's see. Go to the bitrate on your OBS and lower its value. Might be 10,000. You need to bring it down to 2,000. Yeah, I actually did bring it down to 3,000. Thank you, though. I was literally just now, you know, looking that up on Google. So I'm going to bring it down to 2,000 on the video bitrate. All right. And then what? Let's see. Encoder preset. I've got it on medium. I'm going to apply that. And then on video, I've got my base canvas at 1920 by 1080, but that shouldn't matter. Turn off any outputs to change video settings. So I'm not going to be able to change it while I'm streaming. However, maybe that actually made a difference. No, Mark, I don't. That's what sucks about it. I mean, it's starting to seem like I do need a new computer. Crazy enough, this thing has been out of the box for like 18 months, you know? Like, it's new, and it was supposed to be relatively good. It's a gaming PC. It's an Inspiron 5680. I know it's not a great computer. It's not a custom build, but it's supposed to be good enough to stream. Anyways, I don't want to spend all morning trying to get all of that set up. Hopefully this did improve it a little bit. King of the Hills 34 said, oh, it's getting stronger. Zahaib, I don't want to mispronounce your name, but I do want to give you a quick shout out and say thank you, because I do believe that helped out tremendously. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. We got a new MVP in the chat. I appreciate you very, very much. All right, all right. It's all good, man. Yeah, I know, right? I gotta, like, better call Saul. Good morning. How you guys doing? Things are a little better now. Things are looking up for me, man. I don't know if it's just that the network gets bogged down on Saturdays, but Thursday was bad too. But anyways, on this video, every week, 10 a.m. CST, no latency issues moving forward. I'm going to be breaking down each and every episode of the What If Marvel series. But what makes Saturday special and a little different from the regular reviews is I want this to be like an interactive thing. We are collectively discussing our thoughts and feelings on the series, on each respective episode. I do see, you know, that this isn't an overwhelmingly loved series. There are those of you out there, there are those of you in here that may not be as wild about the series, and you know what? That's just as valid as the people that do. Don't let a bunch of nerds shame you for not liking stuff. It's okay to not like some stuff as long as you just don't default dislike everything. I'm very curious to hear why people don't really like the series. If you're not a big fan, is it that the medium of animation maybe doesn't speak to you? Do you think that this betrays the characters? We're going to have a conversation about all of that stuff. I'm going to help recap and go over everything that happened in this episode, and we are going to kind of just talk about it as we go along. Let's see. Seems a lot better. No lags now. Streams a lot better. Just watch Back to the Future main and BTS. Great to see the gang together again. The Beast Boss in the chat. What's up, buddy? Yeah, seriously, great job. I am very, very grateful that now things are seemingly running smoothly. I think it's back on. Now, as far as I know, Patrick McCabe, we are back on. And in fact, I didn't realize that video dropped today, so that's cool. That's exciting. It was fun, man. It was cool to see a movie like Back to the Future on the big screen. Obviously, that had never happened before. That was new for me. It was released in 1985. So, in fact, a lot of people are like diehard Back to the Future fans, like best movie ever, favorite movie. And like, I enjoy it. It's really good, but it's not one that I grew up watching a whole lot. So I'm not familiar with it in the same way that like Gus that was sitting next to me, like he knew every line in the movie. I was like, holy shit. I just remembered Leah Thompson wanted to bang her boy. I want to bang my boy. Anyways. Yeah, I'm so relieved, man. This stream started out kind of a drag, and things are looking up. Things are looking up for me. I appreciate that. Got another question real quick while we're on the topic of troubleshooting my stream, trying to get this shit all tightened up. Can you read the chat? Do I need to change the opacity on the chat? Let me know. I don't like What If because I was never into action for Marvel's MCU. I always like the characters and their build-up, and now if you start with Hank Pym killing off the Avengers and then lose Loki, yeah, I actually can appreciate that sentiment quite a bit. I am sort of in the same camp where third acts of almost all blockbusters just bore me to fucking tears. Like, I like a good action sequence. don't get me wrong. And I love the John Wick movies because you can just go in there and appreciate them as this kind of stunts, spectacle driven movie. But like with all CGE and a bunch of like, you can't tell what's computer rendered from what's real. It's just hard to appreciate a lot of it. Not that I don't mean to disrespect computer artists and animators, because what they do is incredible. I couldn't do it, but I just, it's not all that engaging when there's very little stakes. And because the What If episodes are so short, a lot of times they are sacrificing some of the character building in favor of being able to do the spectacle. And I think episode 3 is particularly a victim of that. But this is my favorite episode so far. I very much enjoyed it. I thought that the way that we play out this sort of almost Agatha Christie-esque murder mystery was pretty cool. And it was also great to see the Hulk retcon. I like to see the whole Thor scene was great. But we'll talk about it. Hold up. Gotta drink some of this blue poison real quick. Drink some of this blue poison. Could be clearer, but then I ain't got my specs on. No, Daryl, I'm imagining that's probably me with the stream. TMS SMT, I know nothing about Transformers, but I'm so intrigued. So I hate that all the Transformer movies are so shallow and characters come in and out movie to movie. Yeah, for sure. For sure. X-Men films to a large part. Seems like the cast for each movie is pulled from a hat outside of a handful and all. Yeah, yeah. DMFX, what's up, buddy? Jerbear, you check out the intro to Holden's video? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Did somebody call me Jerbear? Mark McKeever's grandma dropped him off at the Reno Theater to see Back to the Future while she went gambling while on a summer trip. Met and made out with a girl. Great times. Movie was good too. Hell yeah. It's a good story. It's a good story. The Boss B said, I reckon this is definitely the best episode so far, but it doesn't reach as good as it could because of the time limit. Yeah, man. So, okay. The episode 3, what if the world lost its mightiest heroes? AKA, what if Hope Van Dyne joined the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I've heard people refer to it as that as well because they say that was the one catalyst that changed everything. And that, in fact, many of the episodes aren't named on the catalyst, but just the thing that would make it more, I guess, marketable or something. Like, but it's tricky because no one choice ever is going to change the definitive outlook. Like somebody could say for episode 2 that it was, what if the Ravagers picked up the wrong signal, right? That could be the what if. Or what if, you know, what if the engineer that developed the technology for the tracking system accidentally put in the wrong chip, right? Or like, what if the manufacturers of the chips that were used in the Ravager ship technology that was meant to locate life forms actually did the programming wrong? You know what I mean? Like, we could go back and back and back. It's hard to say. I appreciate the titles. Keep it simple. I don't need it to get super up its own ass in there. OMG, the lag is back. Son of a beep. Motherfucker. And now I start beeping my curse words. I remember like when My Friend Watches first started coming out. Will y'all do me a favor and click the like button while you're in here? Thanks so much. When My Friend Watches first came out and people would like venture over to the Movies Are Terrible YouTube channel, only knowing me from that context, and be like, it's really weird hearing Jeremy curse. I'm like, yeah, maybe it is weird to hear me curse. Make the bitrate to 1,000? Oh, man, we're getting crazy now. We're getting real crazy now, bro. Matt Legg in the chat. Colby Sullivan in the chat. All right. We'll see what happens. Colby, somebody mentioned to me that the bitrate might have been set too high on the stream, and that might be a big reason why I'm having latency issues strictly in OBS and not in other stuff. So by lowering the bitrate, though, I'm like degrading the quality of the actual pixels, right? Like it looks shittier and shittier for you depending on how low I drop that bitrate, correct? Correct? All right, well, it should work out. It should work out. It's much better anyways. I was expecting, because you guys have no idea how much just plugging in the Ethernet cable, like Colby said, actually did help things out. But the streaming has always been the primary thing, and I feel like a lot of that might have been internal within the software itself. So I'm going to start fucking with it. Back on track. What's up, Ewan Stevenson? Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right. Here we go. So it opens up episode 3 of What If. That's what I'm talking about here. 20 minutes in, hadn't even got to the motherfucking point of the video. Let's do this. All right, so episode 3, The World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes, opens up with Nick Fury and Black Widow, and they're in the vehicle, and they're driving down the road, and Nick Fury's like, it all started with the idea, and she jumps in. She's like, yeah, I've heard all about the Avengers Initiative before. And immediately, I'm like, Dad, that is not Scarlett Johansson. Definitely not Scarlett Johansson. I didn't recognize the voice until I looked at the credits afterwards, but it's Lake Bell. And if you need a red-headed animated superhero character, Lake Bell is your go-to, apparently. Maybe they'll cast her for Mary Jane in the next animated Spider-Man project, and that pretty much covers the redhead. Oh, I guess she could do Mystique from the X-Men. Anyways, Lake Bell plays Poison Ivy in the Harley Quinn animated series, which I absolutely love. I think it's fantastic. It moves at a clip, and it's really fun. All the episodes build really nicely off of each other. But anyways, so Lake Bell stepped in for Scarlett Johansson. And while I like Lake Bell, which I really do, she's a writer and director that did a movie called In a World about voiceover acting. She's very good in it. Highly recommend checking that out. I like her a lot, but it kind of just feels like, I'm cheating on my Black Widow. This sucks, because this is the first time that Scarlett Johansson has been replaced, you know? We just saw her in Black Widow, and then there's all this ugly shit that's coming out about the business behind the scenes and about her, her pay for the movie, what she was entitled to. There's about to be a legal proceeding going on in regards to this. So to see Scarlett Johansson be replaced and know the ugly behind the scenes drama, it was a little bit weird. And then also Robert Downey Jr.'s contract is now over, so he was a substitute actor. I know there were other ones as well, but those are the two big ones. As far as Samuel L. Jackson returning to the role of Nick Fury, this is his 12th outing as the character Nick Fury for the MCU. So that man is, he's good. He's set for life. He's set. And good for him, because I really like Samuel L. Jackson. The man has made a career out of playing Samuel L. Jackson, and you got to respect that. Not that he's the only one. There's a lot of actors out there like that. Tom Hardy and Christian Bale not being two of those actors. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Daryl actually saw that movie, In a World. It was good. I saw her first in Boston Legal. I heard she was in that, and I haven't watched it. DMFX. Yeah, man, my primary thing, the reason why I do this, a lot of people are like, I'm a nerd, I'm into nerd culture. Not me, they're talking from their own perspective, and I don't like identify as a nerd because I don't read a lot of comics. I like the movies a lot, but that's my thing. I'm a movie fan. That's it. I'm a movie fan. And I happen to watch big budget movies in addition to little independent movies and horror films. Horror films and indie movies are like my main favoriteest thing. YouTube's not so much. So we do a little bit of compromising, but later on today, assuming that the streaming stays good, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Candyman, the original versus the new one in a stream. And then I'm going to be talking about The Night House in a stream. So if you guys want to hear about some more obscure movies, definitely, not that Candyman's obscure, but you get what I'm saying. Some more like the movie stuff, stop by for that. Anyways, Steve Frazier, I used to read comics, but I'm 49. Got time for that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. For sure. I guess I'm a nerd. I just don't self-identify as one. I feel like nerd culture has been reappropriated and it just means consumer culture. I feel like now is like to be a nerd is to like, you know, spend all your money on nerd stuff, which is fine if that's the way you do. And obviously I spend some expendable income on nerd stuff as well. I do like gaming a little bit. I feel like the term nerd has been hijacked. It just means mainstream popular culture now. It means like you know, just eat what's given to me. Anyways, Hype from my friend watches is back. What's up, Lil Juicy? German Rifter, what's up, buddy? Sam is overrated. He got eaten by a shark in the most stupid way after all. I'm kidding, of course. The Beast Boy, I think everyone here is a nerd subconsciously anyways. Yeah, maybe. I'm more of a buff than a nerd. Yeah, I mean, I guess anybody with a super specialized interest in anything is technically a nerd or a geek, right? Like, and I am, I guess, a movie nerd. I feel like the word nerd has become branding, and I feel like that kind of branding has only got so much longevity in it, so I just try to like keep myself separate from that larger system, I guess. I'm a nonconformist, all right? Yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch of nerdy shit, but I'm not a nerd somehow, because I can justify it, man. That's why I'm not a nerd, because I can talk circles around it and make it seem like I'm not one, even though I might actually be one, even though I don't like the term of it. What are we talking about? What am I doing here, man? What am I doing here? Just burning fucking daylight, dude. I hope you guys are being safe this weekend if you're on the Gulf Coast. Definitely got a big ass motherfucking storm coming this way, and I very much feel for the people of Louisiana who just cannot catch a break. They cannot catch a break. So sending love and well wishes to our sister city, the Crescent City, New Orleans. Iron Man 2, Tony chilling in a donut. And they don't give Tony a lot of lines in this, which is actually kind of good because you don't get a chance to, like, I didn't get a chance to pick it apart. They go in and they start talking to him, and it's basically the same dialogue that we got in Iron Man 2, and I believe the post-credit scene. I think it's been a while. I need to go back and rewatch a couple of these. Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow comes up with a little syringe and she sticks it in Tony's neck, and it's supposed to help with the heart thing. Remember that used to be a thing? But it instantly kills him. Like, oh my God, what happened? So it starts off, Tony Stark is dead, and we're like, what's going on? Black Widow, did I just call her Scarlet Witch a minute ago? Black Widow, gets arrested, gets basically apprehended by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and two of those agents are definitely from Winter Soldier, one being Frank Grillo, who goes on to be Crossbones, the other being that guy that was also like security detail in the DCEU. I think he's the guy that actually kills Jimmy Olsen, or one of the guys that kills Jimmy Olsen in BVS. It's kind of cool to see these live action characters done in animated style, and somebody mentioned Phil Coulson being in it. Yeah, that is cool. I really like to see the cartoon renditions of each of these celebrities, you know, these characters that we know well. We know their mannerisms, their expressions, and all of that. So to see them like translated to this medium, I think is pretty cool. It's kind of weird, man, and I mentioned it a moment ago, but to think that Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr. are gone from the MCU. It's just kind of like so many of the things that brought the old MCU heads into the MCU are being phased out in favor of new things. And I like new things. Like, I'm cool with that. There's just a sentimental part of me that's like, oh, it's gonna suck to not have those things in the future. But such is life, such is progress. Things grow old and they die. or they go extinct, like the dinosaurs. You know, you got to evolve or you go extinct. So Marvel's evolving for a new generation, and that means dinosaurs like myself are gonna get left in the dust eventually. And you know what? That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Just kind of sucks for me. Let's see here. Nice to see Olsen. Mark says nerd has been a label for a long time. At least it has more of a positive connotation now than ever before. Yeah, I agree. The only reason Steve Frazier, God, dude, truer words, my bro, truer words. The only reason I don't want to be associated with the word nerd is because of garbage like Big Bang Theory. Let's go, dude. Oh man, you know what's funny? How many people love Big Bang Theory? I mean, that in itself isn't funny, but yeah, man, I fucking buck that shit. I can't, dude. When my mom's like, have you watched Big Bang Theory? Like, no, mom, I haven't. But, you know, if you like Big Bang Theory, cool, I guess. I'm just playing. I don't know. I ain't even seen it. I'm just hating. It's like, some stuff is just too broad, you know, too big, too mainstream. But then again, I like Marvel movies. What's happening? What's going on? Fuck Shelton. German Rifter, I feel attacked. Mark McKeever, the OG cast and their massive salaries have been phasing out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it has been cooler to be a nerd. Nick Mayfield, 2008. You like it. It's about nerds. Who uses laugh tracks in the modern age? Weak. Yeah. I feel attacked. I used to really like Big Bang Theory. Yeah, well, you know, welcome to my channel. Yeah, well, you know what? Thank you for coming. I like, what the fuck do I know? Like, I always have to impress that upon people also. Like, I'm just a schmuck. I don't really know, you know what I mean? I don't know shit. I'm just some dude with an opinion, and it's all fun. People love opinions until they don't agree with the opinion that you have. And to be honest, I hope that you guys can appreciate it, you know, because even if the takes are always, even if they're not always on your side, they're always honest. And that means when I am on your side, you know, it's authentic, you know? So people just like everything. You can't just like everything. Television is terrible. Yep, that's our next channel. That's the next next experiment. German Rifter, I have not. I haven't heard of it before. I know, Nick. For sure. For sure. So it is crazy to see so many of the iconic cast members are leaving, but I thought it was, oops, Tony's killed by lithium dioxide. And I was trying to figure out, is that like a stand-in for the Moderna or hydrochloroquine? Like, because everything's political. It's got to be one or the other. Is it hydroxychloroquine? Is it Moderna? Is it that what is that? Horse parasite shit? Parasite medicine? Anyways, this show's making a political statement. You pick what it is. It's whatever you want it to be. Just keep them out of my cartoons, you know? Anyways, it was kind of cool to go to the Incredible Hulk scene. I like that they are both acknowledging the Incredible Hulk as being part of the MCU canon, but they've cleverly went and replaced that version of the Hulk with our Hulk, with Mark Ruffalo, who is by far a superior Hulk. You know, one of the things I love about Hulk that not enough people talk about, or if they have talked about it, I haven't listened to it. Like, I love the Hulk's posturing in the MCU. Like, the way he fucking hits his chest and, like, you know, like, he's got very, like, gorilla-esque mannerisms, and I like that. It's very primal, and I think it's a small detail that doesn't get acknowledged all that much, but our Hulk has definitely got some great ape in him, you know? That's like, I didn't like Edward Norton or the 90s version of the Hulk because he stood too upright, he was too humanoid, his muscles were like too defined. He looked more like a jock than he did like a monster. So I really like the MCU take on the Hulk as a character. And I love this way that they used him here, you know, where Bruce is just like, look, you know, you should probably just let me handle this because I can't die. And then all of the military shows up. General Ross is back. Thunderbolt Ross is back. And that scene is great. And it's going on at the same time as Loki has come to Earth. I feel like I skipped a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I skipped a bunch of stuff. Let me try to go back. Because on Tuesday, which, by the way, they're still using the gigantic text that they used in Civil War. Like, just cover the whole fucking screen with it because, I don't know, they've been doing that for a while. But I don't mind it. It's just kind of funny. It's like, boom, it's a day of the week. And Coulson finds the hammer. Obviously, we know this story. This is from Thor. And Widow's arrested for murder, but Fury helps her break out before that happens. Mentioned the Winter Soldier goons, and I like that fight scene that takes place in the back of the little paddy wagon. Thought that was cool. So Fury and Barton are at Mjolnir. At this point, they're at the facility where they found the hammer had been left behind, and Thor's going through and just like taking people out trying to escape or whatever. He doesn't know what's going on. And Thor finally gets to the hammer. I really like that shit too. They're like, I've made eyes on the target and he's gorgeous or some shit like that. Like, Coulson is such a fanboy in this, but it's funny. Yeah, man. And then Hawkeye's like, yeah, affirmative on the description. His hair is majestic. Some shit. I don't remember the actual quotes, but it was kind of funny. All of a sudden, we get this really great silhouetted shot of Clint, and he's about, you know, he's lined up on his target, but he's holding his fire because Nick's telling him to stand down, and then all of a sudden, he, like, slips. And you're like, dude, Hawkeye doesn't slip. What the fuck's going on here? What is this? So Thor goes down. Thor gets killed by a Hawkeye arrow. Hawkeye gets arrested. Now he's in a cell. Fury goes to figure out what the fuck's going on to interrogate him. He just like slumps over dead. So now we're down Thor, Tony, Iron Man. We're down Thor, Iron Man, Hawkeye, and that's just the beginning of it because I mentioned Hulk is involved as well. This whole thing's kind of Black Widow trying to figure out this mystery. Which I like that because she's kind of set up as looks like a false protagonist because it doesn't end up ending with her, but she's kind of the narrative thrust of it through the beginning. But yeah, when that lightning strikes and Clint's got the bow and arrow and that silhouette, that shit looks cool. It's really weird. They're like walking through the morgue and Coulson like goes up to Thor and like sniffs him and he's like, he smells like lavender. I'm like, what the fuck, man? They're sniffing corpses on Marvel's What If now. Next episode, what if Coulson was a corpse fucker? All right, let's see what's going on. What's up, Max in the chat? Welcome to the conversation, my man. Let's see, do we got any other new familiar faces in here? Matt Leg, what's up, my man? Thank you for stopping by. Horse dewormer for sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know how Hulk died either. That's a good question. Doom Patrol is very good. I agree, Daniel. That's a good show. Daryl, thank you for coming by, my man. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Michael Ratty, $5 super chat. Thank you very much. He loved that they kind of proved that Ant-Man could have killed Thanos with that Hulk scene. Oh, is that how they killed Hulk? He went up his butt. No, you're right, though. This episode definitely does show that Ant-Man's power set is pretty effective. We had a much deeper conversation about the Ant-Man power set than I was expecting a couple days ago, but I do agree, yeah, this actually showcases that Ant-Man's powers can be really fucking effective if used in the right way. Thank you very much for the super chat. I do really appreciate that. If you guys are in the chat, you could help me out by clicking the like button. It really does help the channel. TMS SMT Hank proved that if Ant-Man wasn't such a chump, he could kill everyone. All right, so we've got the Coulson sniffing corpses. And then Tasha goes and meets Betty Ross, which this was really cool. It was neat to see these characters communicate with each other. Obviously, they hadn't before, as far as I remember. I might be wrong about that. Obviously, not Liv Tyler voicing the character, but Liv Tyler wasn't like a major player in the MCU, so I didn't feel like recasting her was like outside the realm of good taste or something like that. She did a kind of good Liv Tyler impression, and that she talked really soft. But I like the interaction between the two of them. And that Hulk was like hiding in the little closet in the classroom or whatever. But the minute that Betty says, you know, I'm a microbiologist, not a forensic, what do they call it? Ballistics person. This is nanotech. When she said nanotech, I was like, bing! Nanotech, small tech. I know words. This has got to be an Ant-Man thing. Didn't have a clue it was going to be Hank Pym. Didn't know if it was going to be Hope. Didn't know if it was going to be Scott or, what's his ass? The original Wasp. I can't remember his name. Guy from that show. She just sounded like Arwen to me, says TMS SMT. Yeah, for sure. Max didn't mind the new actors as long as it's not live action. I get it. Right? Harry. Oh, Hank Pym. No, but the original Wasp, not the original Ant-Man. The guy from the first movie, Corey Stoles is the name of the actor. He played... whatever. What if episode that somehow just has all the Lord of the Rings actors that are in MCU? That'd be cool. Yes, Mark McKeever. Who knew, dude? Michael Douglas is a great voice actor. The way they animated him, like what a great way of using him. I agree with that. So Banner's found hiding in the little closet. This is what kind of makes Natasha start trying to protect him and say, hey, you're next on the list. This is when they are accosted by General Ross and his army, you know? And it breaks out into this great fight sequence that's going on when Rainbow Bridge ends up projecting Loki and an entire fucking Asgardian army directly to Earth, which was, dude, so badass. So badass. I love the way that that whole showdown between Shield and the Asgardians, and Loki's like, look, either you guys, you know, make this right or whatever, or I'm gonna fucking go to war. I'm gonna wipe all of you out. Give me the person responsible for this. And you're like, oh shit, this Loki means business, dude. I love it. This is such a different Loki than we just now got in the show, and I think that's fantastic. So there's this standoff going on, and Loki's just freezing shit with the Tesseract, and it's badass. And then at the same time, Hulk's fucking just smashing tanks and throwing them, just yeeting entire tanks across the campus, and you're like, damn. And then General Ross is like, I'm gonna shoot you with my handgun. Pew, 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 pew. Like fires 6 shots into him, and you're like, bro, he just knocked down a tank. What are you doing, bro? But then you have to remember, oh, this is cartoon world or whatever. This is fantasy. So you can't get too mad about it. It was like when Jon Snow stands up and screams at the fucking zombie white version of Viserion. You're like, dude, what are you doing? This could not possibly end well. Are you invulnerable to being ripped to fucking pieces by the Hulk? Then you probably shouldn't make him angry like that. But then all of a sudden, it reminded me so much of Willy Wonka, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Excuse me, the real movie. And Hulk starts blowing up like Violet. And you're like, what is happening, dude? Is it more gamma radiation? Is that what they did? They hit him with more gamma, and now he's like becoming more mass than his body can control, and he like, poof, just explodes into green smoke. I would have loved it if the next shot was Betty and Natasha just like dripping with green goo, you know what I'm saying? But no, he just like exploded into dust. The guy can dream, you know? Just in my head canon, you cut to the shot and Betty's just like, oh, like looking all traumatized, and there's just green fucking goo running down her face. Oh well, maybe next time. Space Vikings, yeah, dude. Yellow Jacket, yeah, not Wasp. Sorry, yeah, my bad. Yellow Jacket. Darren Cross, yeah, there we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. That was my bad. I screwed that up by saying the Wasp. I did that, matter of fact, on Holden and my reaction to episode 6, 5, one of those episodes of Loki when it shows like all of the Easter eggs strewn about in the end of time where Eliath is at. Yeah, so I was like, oh, look, it's the Wasp's helmet. And people are like, dude, that is Yellow Jacket's helmet. And I'm like, that's what I said. Totally what I said. At first, I thought Hulk was getting some sort of power-up for sure. Yeah, it was a pleasure having you back in Holden's videos, Jeremy. You always had the lowest ums and ahs ratio. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, you know something? I take pride in that, man. And you will not notice... I think they do it just to, like, keep me consistent with everybody else. But, like, I try not to do a lot of that stuff so that there's not a lot of hyper cuts in the middle of it. So I'm glad you noticed my lack of uhs and ums. I work hard at it. My crutches are normally fucking, which has got to sound way more intelligent, way more smarter. Anyways, thank you. I appreciate that. I got to check it out. I'm actually excited about watching that. Yes, I agree, Mark. This one did have the most, like, holy crap moments in it. Again, the leading of those being Coulson sniffing Course Thorpe's. I hated that part where Coulson slipped the Course Thulks. What? Oh, I talk's good. And then Fury's like, what's in the box when they're in the desert? What's in the box? I was like, hey, it's a Seven reference. But I swear that's not just a box. Like, the Tesseract has the stone inside of it, but I never thought of it as just like, it's a cube. I thought, not a box, but anyways. Wait a second. DMFX, you're the guy? That's amazing, dude. I didn't even realize that. Did not even realize that. Billy's Blockbusters, welcome to the conversation. Well, DMFX, dude, thank you for legitimately all the wonderful work that you've done over the past couple of years. That's amazing. I love the first part in Thor when Thor calls Coulson son of Cole. Yeah, that's really good. That dude, I've always liked Thor. I don't think the first movie's great, but I like the fish out of water thing. I've always enjoyed that. That in itself is a fun trope that it's very easy to pull it off well because there's just like they did it well in Wonder Woman, Enchanted. They did it well in Thor. I mean, there's a bunch of examples of it, but those in particular are recent ones that I was like, yeah, that's really fun. So yeah, dude, I really do just wish that Hulk would have exploded all over everybody. Fury has to locate the killer to prevent a war with Asgard, which introduces a ticking clock into the plot in the second act of this little 35-minute episode of television. And I like that. Obviously, ticking clocks are good for building suspense and tension, and I think it worked relatively well in this. He's like, you have until the sun comes up, and then I'm gonna fucking wipe you guys all out. So Fury's like, okay. Cut to Coulson and Black Widow talking on the phone when all of a sudden Widow's like, is doing that research thing that's always in like mysteries and horror films where they're like, I'm in the library looking at the archives and I just discovered this thing. And then she gets attacked by this unseen assailant. At this point, I'm like, yeah, it's Ant-Man for sure. It's got to be Ant-Man. Who else could it possibly be? And she's screaming, it's all about hope. It's all about hope. but I didn't have subtitles on, and I thought she was saying, it's all about Hulk. It's all about Hulk. You hear all those kind of sound the same? Hope and Hulk. Hope and Hulk. Maybe that's just, it's like a Yanni. What was the other part of the Yanni thing? Yanni Laurel thing, right? Because I didn't hear it that way. Anyways. Fury at the very end. Oh, okay, so it leads to this fight in a cemetery, which is amazing because we finally get to see Nick Fury in action, sort of. He's fighting the reveal. He shows up to Hope Van Dyne's tombstone. Then all of a sudden, Hank shows up as well, and they have the little talkie thing. Basically, Hope joined S.H.I.E.L.D. and she fought for you when you guys are bad, so I'm gonna kill the Avengers Initiative. And Fury's kind of like, you know, well, this doesn't happen for a second, but there's a fight. All of a sudden, Fury like does a triple somersault over Hank, and Hank's like, you're pretty spry for a pencil pushing desk jockey, or, you know, something like that. And I was like, there's no fucking way. That is Loki, dude. That is definitely, that is low-key Loki. And sure enough, it was. And I was wrong about it being Ant-Man. Although, you know, Hank was the original Ant-Man, to be fair. Whoa, whoa. Things coming to life over here, man. What the fuck? Billy Blockbuster's also heard Hulk. And Stephen Fraser said, I have subtitles on every MCU show since the Timekeeper scene from Loki. A lot of y'all heard Hulk, too. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. Dress is black and blue, fight me. Definitely, those two things, man. Much contention on the internet. Yeah, I heard Laurel, and I saw black and blue as well. But the second I was told that it was white and gold, it all of a sudden, like, it flipped for me. It's interesting thing about perception versus reality, about the subjective nature of truth and how everything is really just relative to the eyes of the people that are perceiving it. Really makes you think, is God real? Well, if you believe he is, then isn't he? Because isn't existence just a matter of the reality and the world that we construct in our inner world? Really makes you think about Yanni and Laurel. Really makes you think about gold and blue and white and black dresses. Mark, I couldn't tell you exactly when those shots were, but I definitely noticed seeing the Watcher in the background on this particular episode more than I did in previous episodes. Somebody in the chat should be able to help us with that. Billy's Blockbusters, I actually may be foregoing the stream on Thursday night in order to catch Shang-Chi. So as of right now, the plan is to stream at 6 p.m. CST on Thursday night. However, between now and then, I'm seriously considering going and catching Shang-Chi on the night that it opens. Not that the press hasn't already screened it. Not that you can't find 1,000 Shang-Chi, sorry about saying Shang-Chi, not that you can't find 1,000 Shang-Chi review videos all over YouTube as it is, but I want to talk about it. I've been liking the trailers. Been liking the trailers a lot. I think Shang-Chi's got potential to be one of the greats because it's, you know, like a martial arts movie, which is cool. Still waiting on reaction to Star Wars Visions. I do need to slide that one in. I'm bad at requests. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like so stuck in the regular grind week to week that it becomes challenging for me to find extra places. There's a person who's been requesting that I watch Clown Nightmare for about 6 months now, and I really need to get around to doing it. I found it the other day on Movies 123 of all things, and it looks like it was made by like, I will say this, Holden's movies are 10 times better than what I saw in Clown Nightmare. I watched about 5 minutes of it, but like pop-ups kept showing up on that Movies 123, and I was like, fuck this. I can't even react to this, so I stopped. But anyways, I would love to do more recommendations. It's just, God, for the one person that recommends it, it's gonna gonna take time. It's gonna take energy, but I'm definitely curious to watch those. So I will try to make a point to do that. We'll see. Wolf Cop 2, yeah, man. Live react to all of them right now. Yeah, shut up, Mark McKeever. So patronizing, dude. I can't believe you would even be like that. Finally, you peasants will be able to see Shang-Chi. Thanks, Mark. You sore winner, you. You sore winner. I can't wait to be able to hear you tell me how, like, I know you've been sitting on being able to talk about it for 2 weeks now? At least a week. I know it's been a minute since you saw it. Billy's Blockbusters, it's really annoying for smaller channels to make reviews on these big movies due to them allowing the bigger channels to watch it early. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way the system is designed. That's just another byproduct of capitalism, but just, you know, any financial system in general. The people with get more, the people without just kind of stay without a lot of times. I'm super stoked because I'm building a legitimate community here, which is amazing. And I know many of you are here because of Holden Hardman's channel, but because you're here, I'm super grateful. I have to assume that you're here because you like what I'm doing at least a little bit. And that gives me faith that if I just keep doing it, maybe the people will find it eventually, you know? And in the meantime, I enjoy the shit out of just talking with you guys. So I'm totally cool with that. But yes, it's definitely challenging for new creators and for small creators. I'm not a new creator. I'm not really new to anything at this point. You know what I mean? I've been making YouTube content since 2015. And even by then, even when I started then, I was really late to the party, you know? YouTube's been a thing for quite a while, and there was an opportunity there at the beginning, but everybody wants to talk about, you know, what they're excited about. And a lot of people are excited about Marvel. Plus, it was revealed to be profitable quite a while ago. So a lot of people are like, I want to do that. And then the market became flooded with people who wanted to do that. And the rest is history. What can you say? But, you know, like I said, I have fun doing it regardless. So anyways. Oh, thank you. TMS SMT. This channel has become my go-to for reviews and discussions because of the tangents Jeremy goes on. Patrick McKay remembers the Chadwick Boseman stream last year. That was crazy. That was crazy. Yes, Billy's Blockbusters. I'm glad you asked. I'm going to be doing a review on Candyman a little bit later today. If I wrap this review up probably around 11:30, I'm going to jump on to discuss the first and the second film and kind of compare and contrast the two of them. I'm also probably going to squeeze my review for The Night House into that video as well. So then I've got like 3 horror reviews all in one stream. Maybe I'll be able to chop them up and put them out separately. Did I say 3 reviews? I'm going to do Candyman and The Night House, but I'm going to talk about both Candyman at the same time. I tried to watch Candyman Farewell to the Flesh last night, which is the sequel to the 1992 film, and it takes place in New Orleans, which if you guys have been here for a minute, I absolutely love the city of New Orleans. We go there all the freaking time, and I got about 30 minutes into it, and I was like, this ain't it. This is not it. I am not a fan of Candyman 2, so fuck this, and I turned it off, and then I was like, man, how can I make reviews for bad movies if I can't even sit through them? And Victoria's like, well, just tell people that it was so bad that you couldn't sit through it. That's fair. It's actually a really reasonable idea. Stephen Fraser, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I am glad to hear that. Yes, she is. The actress is a wet blanket. Yeah, it is. And it's like, okay, at first I thought that there was like this forbidden star-crossed lovers aspect to Candyman. Like, it was Romeo and Juliet, or more specifically, a gothic love story like Dracula, where Helen was the reincarnated love of his eternal life since he died, you know, when he was murdered by all the farmers or whatever. He was banging that wealthy guy's wife. They fell in love. And then in the second one, you're like, oh no, he just really likes white girls. That's all it is. It's not about Helen or reincarnated love. It's about blondes. This guy is fetishizing white women. It changes the way that I saw it. That's all I'm saying. And it's fine. It's fine. But it's just, it changes the character of Candyman, where you're like, oh, these filmmakers are gross. They're just cashing in on a sequel, no matter how much it betrays what the first movie was about. Anyways, that's a whole different video. Let's get back to What If. Even though I found you through Holden, I agree so much with your opinions, perspectives, and that's why this channel has worked so much for me. And keep up the good shit. Thank you, Jack. I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. You're too kind. See, that's the shit, man. That's the shit. That makes me super proud. So, Fury, it's Hulk. It's all about hope. I was confused. I'm like taking notes. Like, it's about Hulk. It's about hope. What's going on here? Oh, I also thought it was cool when Fury shows up to the Loki Asgardians in the night, and the Guardian, is that what his name is? The Destroyer is standing there, and he's like, you got a name? And the thing's just kind of like starts bellowing fire. That thing was cool. I hope that it makes an appearance in Thor Love and Thunder. That would be tight. I was thinking, man, this is another example of Loki's incredibly inconsistent power set, but I guess it's all the Tesseract, right? Like, he would be capable of all of this stuff in the Loki series if he had the Tesseract. It just feels like he's either super fucking powerful or he's not powerful. And I guess it was all the Tesseract. Is that what gave him his power? Why doesn't he? I guess because Odin didn't bestow the powers of Mjolnir onto him. That's why he's not default as strong. He's actually not an Asgardian, but he's a half frost giant. Didn't he turn blue one time? We see Loki's like blueness, and I'm not talking about when he got choked out by Thanos either. But I think I thought that better. I think I thought that joke was better than it was. Kind of overreacted there. I apologize about that. So at the end of this episode, after Hank's taken down, Loki just does his press conference, and it's not like an I am Iron Man moment. It's like, you people all want to be subjugated, and Daddy's home. Daddy's here to take good care of all of you. And then we cut to all the caskets of the Avengers, which is pretty morbid for the end of this episode, and it's a pretty bleak moment. But then Fury's like, actually, all hope isn't gone. Then we see Cap is still on ice. Then Captain Marvel shows up. I have a feeling Captain Carter is going to show up. And the actual Civil War event is going to be deciding which of these fucking people is actually the captain. Is it Captain Carter? Captain America? Is it Captain Marvel? Can you have 3 captains on the same team? I don't understand sports. Is it okay? Can you be like, you're the captain, you're the captain. I'm the captain now. Fucking Captain Phillip shows up. Captain Planet, fucking Captain Crunch comes into the multiverse. All of a sudden, dude, Captain Hook shows up. Captain Morgan's is in the fucking fight scene now, dude. What is happening? There are so many captains in this movie now. TV series. Did I miss any captains? I kind of just started going there at the end. I guess Cap and Crunch. Does he even count? He didn't have the Tesseract here. He had the ice cube thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's why I said what's in the box. See, I miss little things like that. Funny story at the MCU screening. I just chatted up a couple outside. People were stopping by and fanboying this couple. I guess I met the late to the party YouTubers. I never saw that before. Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with them. They were actually, on that stream that we did with Knight. They also kind of got propelled into some level of status because of their appearances on the movie Trivia Schmodown, back when that was something that people watched. You know what's fucking crazy, dude? All those people that a lot of us watched growing up, like, they don't get near the fucking views of Holden and Sean. Holden and Sean are like the new school dudes, right? Like, they're the guys that are doing the movie content. Now, I mean, Campy is always going to be around. Grace from, you know, Beyond the Trailers always going to be around. But, like, Roxy Stryer, Dan Merle, all those people that, like, I always watched, Christian Harloff, all those people, like, they don't get in, like, they're getting 5,000 to 6,000 views a video, which to me, that's a big deal, you know? I think that's sustainable. But I don't know how Harloff is sustaining it with having, like, I think 30 people on his staff or whatever. Maybe he doesn't pay any of them. I don't fucking know how that works out, but I've always wondered, like, how do you maintain an operation with that many people attached to it unless you just don't pay them? Captain Morgan is always in the fight. Schmovel. TMS SMT holding hit gold with my friend watches and having Matt infuriate the internet. Yeah, absolutely. It was a winning formula. And plus Holden has like kind of infused vlogging and movie space, which people seem to really like. I'm a little, and I know this is crazy because I overshare all the time, but like I'm a little more private. A lot of times I don't want to like vlog and stuff. I don't know, but I can see the value in it. I see what people respond to out of his content. Plus, he's really good at editing. He is great on camera. He has a interesting group of people that he brings into it, and he's just like really locked in on the production side. So a lot of his strength comes from having great production value and the candid nature of the approach, the fact that the camera's so close and it's like you're talking to the people. It's like you're talking to the people, you know? Here, you motherfuckers actually have to talk to me. You don't just get the impression of it. I call you out in the chat. I'm like, hey, your opinion is silly. Hey, you, good take, motherfucker. Captain. I know there are so many more captains I could name here on this little adventure that I'm on. Captain Jack Sparrow, fictional captains. Captain Kirk. No, you're absolutely right, DMFX. I mean, the editing is so integral to the overarching quality of the videos. One of the most important aspects. I mean, I do believe garbage in, garbage out. If you get shit footage or shitty subjects, then you're gonna have a shitty video no matter how much spice you put in the gumbo. But if you got good quality ingredients, the spice makes all the difference in the world. You know? What separates, like, you know, oh, this gumbo is made with all high quality ingredients versus this gumbo is made with high quality ingredients and authentic herbs and spices. Yeah. Captain Caveman, Captain Kangaroo, Captain Malcolm Reynolds. Know who that is? No, I did not do a No Way Home trailer live stream. Captain Kangaroo. Damn, that's somebody that only boomers know about. A lot of these captains are like boomer shit. Oh, Captain Malcolm Reynolds is from Firefly, which people apparently like. Serenity, which people apparently like. I've just never seen them. I'm sure they're great. Captain Hook. Captain Han Solo. Didn't realize that Han Solo was a captain. Firefly. Yeah. No, I did not do a No Way Home trailer live stream, but fuck it. Let's go. Let's do that. We're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about the No Way Home. Let me get a breakdown for it real quick. I did watch it. Okay, I'm just going to pull it up.
Florida homeowners, if you're...
And going to kind of talk about it as we go along. I'm glad you brought that up because there is a lot in this trailer. It's got one of those trailers before the trailers in it. Like a little 5-second clip. All right, let's here get myself in trouble. So when I do these, there's a bit of stop and startage going on. A lot of people don't like that when they watch trailer reactions, and I understand. Some people just want to see a person just straight up react to the trailer, but I try to do little breakdowns of them so that I can monetize them and so that I can actually offer you some value, because me being like watching a trailer, look, this is how I watch trailers. That's my impression of me watching a trailer. Sometimes it's like this. Huh. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you get. So I try to add value to it by like breaking it up, talking about some of the things that happen. Florida homeowners. Oh, you guys heard that? That girl's kind of cute. Just throwing that out there. Kind of cute. All right, here we go, Florida homeowners.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
I like that Mary Jane seems to be a more active participant in this newest movie. I know she was more integral to the story in the last one, but the first version of Mary Jane was just getting kidnapped and hung from bridges over and over, you know? And Spider-Man was just constantly saving her. So if you watch throughout this trailer, you'll see that like Mary Jane is involved, MJ is involved in many of the action sequences, which is cool. TMS SMT, I kind of understand that. Colby believes the Doctor... No, he said it's just a theory. Doctor Strange in the trailer is 2 people. I don't believe that, but he does have like some crazy-ass hair in this. He just looks like he's let himself go. I mean, coming from the guy who hasn't had a haircut in 3 months, I let myself go. I need to go get a haircut, man. Damn. Yeah. Technically Michelle Jones. Who doesn't want a Florida girl with a home? I don't mind her. Glad we're not seeing the same old MJ. Yeah, I don't mind her either. But we could get Ned as the Hobgoblin in this. The actor lost over 100 pounds, and I don't think technically we've had Defoe confirmed yet. Interesting. Interesting.
Stop, come on.
Yes, my Spider Lord.
I think that's a reference to the comics. What do they call them? I don't know what the reference is. You guys let me know.
Can we just like stay up here all day? It is so crazy down there.
That's right, folks.
Like, how many monitors are in this version of New York? Look at that, yo. There are 600 television screens in Times Square, and every one of them is J. Jonah Jameson chastising a young Spider-Man. He's a menace. I got my hair cut once a year since COVID.
Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
Listen, I did not kill
Public Enemy, good group. Just throwing that out there.
Mysterio. The drones did.
The drones that are yours.
I wonder if Mysterio is coming back in this. I've heard people kind of speculate that he might. You guys let me know what you think. Is if there is a Sinister Six, who are the members? We've got, this is a version of the lineup that I was thinking. If we think about all of the characters that have appeared in Spider-Man movies that have not been in the MCU Spider-Man movies. So we've got Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Kurt Connors Lizard, Electro, Rhino, Sandman. Maybe? I don't know. I know there's a ton of different versions of the Sinister Six, because we could also, like, we could go Vulture, Scorpion, Electro, Lizard, Doc Ock, Green Goblin. I don't know if that leaves anybody out. Sandman, I feel like he's being alluded to in the trailer. Lizard is in the trailer. Yeah, it definitely looks like him. So the Beast Boss says Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Lizard, Electro, Sandman, and the Vulture is what I reckon they will do. They had Scorpion toy leaks. Okay. Did you notice how many of the Spider-Man Rogue Gallery villains all have animal associations? The Lizard, Rhino, I felt like there was a lot more just now. Vulture, there's more. Doc Ock. You think about it. You tell me, because I apparently don't know what I'm talking about. Green Goblin. Goblins are very popular animals, I think. Some of the most popular animals out there. They're huge.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
What do you mean?
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie.
Let me ask, why is everybody so mad at Peter? Because he killed Mysterio? Who gives a shit? I mean, I understand, but like, why do they see him as such a hero? Brand, thank you. Yeah, and venom is usually an animal toxin. A lot of people say that when Doc Ock says hello Peter, that he's actually talking to Tobey Maguire's Peter because the scenes don't match up. Strange as Mephisto. All right, dude, I think we're done here. I'm just kidding. I was talking to somebody who did keep bringing up Mephisto. In the comic books, Peter sold his soul to achieve this same kind of thing. I think. I remember reading like 10 of the darkest Spider-Man storylines on like Screen Rant or one of those bullshit websites where people go to pretend like they know about comic books. And it was like Spider-Man's cum was radioactive and cancerous and it killed MJ in one of the storylines. And I was like, I'm gonna pass that information off on one of my podcasts, and I'm gonna frame it in such a way that it sounds like I don't read those websites. Yes, TMS, SMT, that would be why. That makes sense. It's because he set himself up to look like he was the one fighting off all the elementals. I just figure, like, Peter did a lot more than that. Do they not know, like, that the Avengers saved the entire galaxy? I mean, stopping the elementals from destroying a couple of major cities is a big deal, but not as big as, like... But I don't think anybody knows that. So, all right, we'll give him a pass. Spider-Man One More Day is similar to this.
Lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man?
See, she's up there with him in that shot right there. Pretty cool. Random Man's channel in the chat. What up, bro?
But this isn't about me.
We had a big discussion about Hot Aunt May. If you guys want to get involved on that and share your thoughts, would love to hear them. Is Hot Aunt May too young and too sexy? Even though she's a 60-year-old woman. 55-year-old woman. Let me know. Let me know what you think, sickos.
This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
I didn't realize it the first time I watched that trailer, but I'm like, oh, those are wizard Halloween costumes. That's cool. It made him think of Doctor Strange because the wizard has a goatee. Gotta pause every once in a while, forgive me.
So, Peter, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Okay, why is the Sanctum frozen? Is there an answer for that I missed in previous movies, or is this something that we're not sure about yet? I like Doctor Strange's getup very much in this shot right here.
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
But yeah, he's just kind of looks like he's let himself go a little bit. He's been in quarantine mode for the last little while. Yeah, why did they say those were Peter's drones? I'm not sure about that either. I agree with you, Andy. They might be, Colby. It's frozen because he's Mephisto. Get out. Oh, Hulk crashed through the roof and apparently they didn't fix it. There we go. None of the other shots of the trailer look that cold, but I like that in-universe explanation. You may be right. Yes, it's frozen because Elsa stayed there while it was empty. Also very possible. Also very possible. The glasses, Mark, the glasses were Peter's, and the glasses were connected to the drones. Is that Stark Tech? Stark Industries created all of the shit. But what was the relationship between the glasses and the drones? Lowest circle of hell is frozen in Dante's Inferno. Bro, you need to be careful because you are fucking reaching and you're gonna pull a ligament if you're not careful with all that reaching. Oh man, come on. Fucking Mephisto. That would be wild, dude, if after all of that shit, they actually were like, hey, we've had Mephisto in our back pocket the whole time. You guys just jumped the gun and you figured it out before it was even a thing.
Okay, Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
What do you want him to call him?
When Mysterio revealed my identity,
That new suit looks dope. We get a first little look at it right there.
Allow it.
He just took off the cowl, but there's the black with the gold trim on it.
When
Pretty dope. I like all the new Spider-Man costumes in these movies a lot. I liked his little stealth suit in Far From Home.
Mysterio revealed my identity, my entire life got screwed up.
Victoria's favorite Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire as well. So I'm just surrounded by a bunch of Raimi stans. I love those Raimi's movies, like fucking for sure. I'm one of the defenders of the first Raimi movie. I think the best Spider-Man movie is the one with Green Goblin in it. At me if you want to. It's good for engagement. At me if you want to. I know that Doc Ock is probably a better villain and that the screenplay for Spider-Man 2 might be a little bit better. But there's only one first time. And the first time that I saw Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man, swinging around through Manhattan and New York City to the Danny Elfman score, it was magical. And since then, I've never had the same experience watching a Spider-Man movie. I understand nostalgia. I understand all of that. I get it. I'm not saying, like I said, objectively, I'm sure Spider-Man 2 is a better movie. It didn't hit the same for me at all. Like I'd already experienced the magic of seeing Spider-Man on screen. So the first one will always be my favorite. I think just because the way it made me feel and seeing that character realized in that way. That said, Tom Holland is clearly the fucking superior casting for Peter and Spider-Man. No question about it. You are serious, Colby. I can tell. I can tell by the tone of your texts. Castro62, thank you so much for stopping by, man. I really appreciate that. Always good to see new faces in the chat. Always good to feed off of your affirmation. It brings me life. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Man or ma'am? I assume man.
I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
All right. Does this kind of betray the character for the sake of pushing the story forward, as my co-host Caleb Miles so eloquently put on Thursday's podcast? Because I kind of agree with him. This is a very reckless move for the defender of our realms. Like, Stephen Strange is supposed to protect the Sanctum, which is a gateway to like these other dimensions. Should he be casting this spell? I understand the trauma bonding aspect of it. They've been through some things together, so maybe he does do this. Maybe he does do this.
Strange. Don't cast that spell.
But then when Wong is like, dude, don't you fucking do what you're about to do. Dude, I'm going on vacation. I got my bags packed. I got my North Face jacket on. I'm going on vacation. But before I leave, I'm asking you one favor, bro. Do not cast this fucking spell. And what does Doctor Strange do? What does Mr. Steven do?
It's too dangerous. Fine. I won't.
Fucking dickhead, dude. Wong is your boy. Wong is your boy, and you're gonna do him like that? Do him like that? Fine, I won't. Yeah, well, fuck you too, Doctor Strange. Wong headed off to the Shang-Chi trailer. Yeah, man. Gotta go fight the Abomination. I'll be back. Just don't do it. Tom is the best casting for sure. Spider-Man 2 is the best movie, though. Says you and the entire rest of the world. Spider-Man 2 is a masterpiece for superhero blockbuster cinema. Tell me something new. No, I get it. It's and The Dark Knight's the best Batman movie ever, right? I know it probably is. I don't know shit about movies. I just know that I like Batman Begins more. Because it was like the realistic ass take on Batman. You know, I'm like, what? They're like taking this shit seriously, like for real, for real. This is a whole different thing. And yes, the second one is a better version of the first one, but it's not the first one. It's just like another version of it. I'm not big on sequels. I don't know if you guys can tell that about me. Anyways, back to the trailer.
The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
No, I do not watch those Random Andy's channel. Stephen Fraser, no Batman Begins. Yeah, boy, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Not many of us out there. The internet overrode our opinions, you guys. Mark McKeever, also a Batman Begins fan. Love it, dude. Love it. Random Andy's channel, I don't watch the new Rockstars very much, and I don't watch a lot of trailer breakdowns because I feel like it makes me say things that aren't my things to say. And I try to explain that and articulate it in a way that it's not about like being pretentious or thinking that they don't make good content. I just find there's a homogenization when content creators all watch the same content. We all just start saying the same things, and then our opinions, it's really hard to say if they're our own or not. And like, so I have to try to like find that balance of like, what do I take in? Do I read Deadline and Variety and get the stories themselves, or then I go to watch other content creators who editorialize this, therefore skewing my own personal takes and making me just a take recycler, if that makes sense. I don't know. Hopefully that does make sense. New Rockstars is a horrible channel name. I like Erik Voss. I liked Philip. You know, I've definitely watched the stuff before, but lately I've just tried to take a different approach to it because sometimes it just, oh shit, sometimes it can just feel a little stale, and I feel like the best thing that I can do is just be as uneducated and unintelligent on the source material and the theories as possible. Like, what good am I if I have actual information and knowledge to pass on to you guys? I'm going in with just a wing and a prayer and passing my nonsense along to you guys. Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't Amber Alert, unfortunately.
Wait, everyone? Can't some people still know?
That's
All right.
not how the spell works.
So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
I'm assuming Peter has to be in the room for this somehow. The screenwriters have to come up with a way to justify why Doctor Strange wouldn't be like, yeah, I'll do this for you, but I'm going to need you to fuck right off. I'm going to need you to wait outside the little circle of trust while I do this, because I can't have your immature emotional self causing the multiverse to collapse in on itself. Right? You know what I mean?
Stop tampering with the spell.
Oh my God, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really know.
Stop talking.
You screwed up, Peter. Careful what you wish for. This is like a monkey paw movie, you know what I mean? Okay. I think that's actually a very valid point, Stephen Fraser. This might just be a matter of the way that they've compiled the trailer together to make it make sense. That in itself wasn't actually the thing. Like, maybe it's just like, if in your heart you have doubt, the multiverse will collapse in on itself. It does seem weird why the Keeper of the Time Stone would be this reckless. I think something is definitely going on with Strange. Hopefully it's better than Wonder Woman 84. Then yes, it's very similar thematically.
What just happened?
We tampered with the stability of space-time.
I love all of the prism effects that we see thanks to the Doctor Strange movies. I think that, like, there's some really great visual shots in this trailer.
Multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
All that stuff is cool. Here we get our first yellow shot of what is likely Electro's electricity. Very much color motif that lines up. And when I see superheroes on a train, I think, yes, you can't have a superhero movie without a train. Like, can you even call it a superhero movie if there's not a train in it? It's like Spider-Man 2, but 10 times better, because there's 10 times more trains.
The problem.
That is fucking dope, though, dude. Like, that is such a crazy looking visual. I love it.
Is you trying to live two different lives.
Astral projection, okay. Peter's trying to take something from him. What's in the box? It looks like a little speaker. A little, like an ancient speaker box.
The longer you do it.
I saw in the chat a moment ago, and I gotta agree. Not a big fan of the spider legs. Not a big fan of Superior Spider-Man. I read about him in We Got This Covered News, and I just decided that he's not for me. I don't know. It's aesthetic. I'm sure there's young people that like it, that costume. I'm not a fan. It's Iron Spider. Iron Spider, is that the same as Superior Spider-Man? Because wasn't Doc Ock Spider-Man for a little bit? And the Iron Spider, yeah. Random Andy's channel has a theory. Electro, Sandman, Lizard, Goblin, and Doc Ock are not the same villains from the movies we know. It's going to be just like J. Jonah Jameson, who the actor is the same, but it's a different variant. I think that's a very valid theory. I think that's definitely possible, because we know that Jamie Foxx's Electro is going to look slightly different. Stephen Fraser, this looks like Peter is stealing something that possibly fucks up the spell. I think anyway, not him talking during the spell. So yeah, not wild about the Superior Spider-Man costume. And the Iron Spider's different, right? What does Iron Spider suit look like? Oh, it's got the legs too. Iron Spider from comics. I guess, yeah, it's got them too. Whatever, it's weird looking. A little too spidery for me.
Do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
Norman Osborn laugh. Starts off very low in timbre, and then it comes up to where it's definitely Defoe.
The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
Spider-Man. I came when I heard the laugh. I don't like the way here. Well, we'll get to it.
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Be careful what you wish for, Parker. I thought that was giant octopus legs coming out, hands, arms coming out. I was like, holy shit, it's like a gigantic Doc Ock mech or something, but it's just forced perspective.
Hello, Peter.
Look. Let me change the playback speed. Bump up the resolution here. Maybe mute that. Dude, that looks fucking bizarre, yo. I know Marvel are like the pioneers of that technology. And maybe it's just Alfred Molina, like the way that it works on him or something. So Peter's on a bridge. I wish that Doc Ock was like, hello, penis. What's up, penis Parker? All right. Humor me here. Look how dark his eyebrows are. How thick. Those eyes behind the glasses. Dude, there's some uncanny valley shit going on here for real. It's off-putting to me. Zoom and enhance. Zoom and enhance. Anyone? That said, it's not as if that ruins the movie. It's just, it's like that Alfred Molina Doc Ock looks fucking weird, dude. Let me see what you mean. Is that the same? Yeah, it looks like the same bridge, the same destruction. Maybe it's not. However, that doesn't change anything either. Like, they could literally be putting anything in the trailer. Yeah, he definitely doesn't have the arms there. Yeah, normally it looks pretty good. Normally, like, I didn't even mind, you know, the Mark Hamill and Mandalorian. In context of the show, it doesn't bother me. Like, that was still the baddest fucking version of Luke Skywalker I'd ever seen before, and I'm not gonna let that weird effect override my enjoyment of it. I'm just saying I've seen them do it much better than this right here. But like you said, it's early VFX. So you guys think in this shot right here is where we're going to get the other Spider-Man. That right there, there might be other Spider-Man there. Is that the end of the trailer? Yep. Yeah, I don't know. All in all, I think it's got a Herculean task to accomplish. All in all, I think this could either be a massive, massive, beloved hit in the same way like Infinity War, or to a lesser degree Endgame was, or it could be a complete fucking disaster, much in the same way. And I'm sorry, guys, I know some of you like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But Sony always wants to force it. Sony always wants to get as many characters in as they can, force in the Sinister Six anytime they get an opportunity, throw as many villains at you as they possibly can. And this movie has got so many characters and the potential for so many more. And does the multiverse, is this like a thing that's just cracked open now for the rest of the movies? Does this mean that Venom and Morbius end up somehow tying into, future Spider-Man movies at Sony? There's a lot of exciting fan news about this. There's a lot of things to nerd out over, right? Because it's got all of the things that we like in it. It's not just one of the things that we like, it's all of the things that we like. But like a good gumbo, going back to the fucking gumbo analogy, like a good gumbo, man, there's a certain point where you're just throwing shit in there because you've got it. You know what I mean? Like gumbo's got a lot of ingredients in it and it tastes delicious. But at some point you're like, dude, you can't throw a rubber tire in there. A tire is not, or like, I love Hershey's chocolate. Let me just throw a fucking Hershey's chocolate bar in that gumbo. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's got more of the things that we like doesn't mean that I'm going to like it more. But hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it works out and it's fantastic, because so far, and I say this all the time, so far, I love the MCU. We'd spent a good bit of time talking about What If a little bit ago, and I always go into projects with a healthy dose of cynicism, with a healthy dose of skepticism. Because then, if the movie's pretty good, I'm happy about it. I don't get mad about the shit, you know what I mean? But if it's bad, I'm like, yeah, of course it's fucking bad. And then I'm not disappointed either. But it's people's expectations. Think about WandaVision. People had the whole like, oh, Evan Peters is in it. That means the X-Men are coming. Oh, somebody said something about science. That means Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four, Emily Blunt, and fucking John Krasinski are showing up in it. Oh, Loki had horns in the stained glass. Gotta be Mephisto in the Loki series now, because he wasn't in the first of WandaVision one. There's somebody behind pulling the strings, man. It's gotta be a backdoor pilot for the X-Men with the Fantastic Four, with the devil himself in the motherfucker. And if it's not that, it's not good. And that's the kind of thing about, like, that's the dangerous side of fandom, is where it's like all of a sudden we think we're the storytellers, or that we could do it better, so we start creating our own narratives. And then when the stories don't align with our narratives, we're all of a sudden like, oh, well, that wasn't good. It's like, no, your idea wasn't good, but there was nobody around you to tell you that your idea wasn't good. WandaVision would have sucked if Mephisto showed up in it, probably. If the X-Men got introduced in WandaVision, would that be great? I don't know, maybe. I guess they could have done it well, but they've got the Marvels to set up. There's a lot going on at any time, and they plant seeds and see where those things start to bear fruit with the audience, financially, all of those things, and then they decide to nurture the fruitful ones that they see are going to, appeal to audiences. Yeah, I think that's a really good way of saying it, Colby. Yeah, Marvel has proven they can do anything. I just hope this one doesn't get Sony-fied. that's kind of my perspective as well. Kamal, that's a good question. Do you think the teleported villains will know what is happening as they are all good mind people? Yeah, it's really interesting. Do they understand that the Peter in this universe is Peter? Or do they not recognize him because he's not the same version of Peter? I find it interesting, and I can't wait to see how that plays out. Andy got me a link to... Oops. Shit. I think that was a link to the new Rockstars video. Mark McKeever, but come on, hasn't Feige proven he can handle numerous characters in a movie? Yes, Mark, he has. And that's to Colby's point. Yes, Kevin Feige has done a lot of legwork to prove that he can do things well. But Sony has proved time and time again that they can fuck something up real good too. Comment. Nope. That's what I got, Andy. Stephen Fraser, nope. Let me keep going. Here's the link. Going. Shamuk, the YouTube channel that dedicates its videos to deepfakes, did a video for Luke for season 2, and it was better than the Disney version. Yeah. I heard about that. I wonder if I can watch the video without it getting... I think I'm going to brave it for this video, but I will, maybe I'll do a separate video strictly of that, because I am definitely curious to give it a watch. I haven't actually seen the side-by-side comparison yet. But yeah, you guys are right. I mean, Marvel has a proven track record of being able to do things well. However, I will say that this particular movie is trying to do a lot of things. Like, even if we try to make an apples to apples comparison and say the Avengers, 2012 Avengers was a Herculean task at the time because it had characters brought together from multiple movies. Each of those movies had a point in it that said we are clearly building to this specific outcome. Nick Fury was the common thread that tied all of those things together. So there was always an expectation that we were building to this team up. By the time Avengers came out, it combined several different movies and characters from each respective series into one film. All of those characters existed within this franchise, the one franchise. So we always saw the crossover happening as it was building to this thing. And then fast forward, we get to Infinity War, and now we're not talking 6 characters anymore. We're talking like 60, you know? And they brought it together. They made it work in a way. Now, does it work as its own movie? Who's to say? We could never really say, because we've all had this experience leading up to it where everything built upon the previous thing. Again, all of those characters from one timeline, from one universe. Now, what sets Spider-Man No Way Home apart from those is we're not talking about taking previous characters that were established in the MCU. We're not talking about characters that were previously established in the last 2 Tom Holland movies. We're not talking about there being a connective tissue that has kept all of these things tangible together. We're talking about taking the MCU, which has meshed nicely with Sony. I mean, we've seen them succeed with Homecoming and Far From Home. I thought they were both very good. But now what we're trying to do is introduce variant versions of characters from older movies, some of which were divisive to the point that they've had to construct Electro into a new version of this same old character that existed in a timeline from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which we really haven't seen anything of. I'm just saying we're taking a lot of different disparate ding 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 moving parts, and we are trying to put them all into one film. To be fair, when Avengers came out, I had the same sort of skepticism. When Infinity War came out, I had the same level of skepticism. And both situations, I was proven completely wrong in that they totally had it under control. I don't know if this is the same as that, you know? And yes, Kevin Feige was involved in all of those other things we talked about, but Sony still has some level of creative control over the way Spider-Man's used in his own films, I believe. Not exactly sure how that contract works exactly, but it's interesting. It's a slightly different thing. I'm very interested to see how it plays out. And I honestly, you guys know, I hope that it's fantastic. Why would I want any of you guys in particular to see a bad movie? I know you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. So let's hope it's fucking fantastic. Let's see. Random Andy's channel. I have a friend who is the same age as me, and he has never seen the Raimi trilogy, and he watched the trailer and thought he had seen the movies, and when they came on screen, I was like, what, bro? Oh, sorry, Kamal, you didn't tell me, do you like the new direction DC is moving after seeing the Snyder Cut? Because I don't mind. I don't think the Snyder Cut changed the trajectory of the way that the DC movies are going to be made moving forward. I like the Snyder Cut, and, you know, DC movies are hit or miss. I didn't love the Snyder Cut. It's just a better movie than the Whedon version of the Snyder Cut. It is all right. It had some things that I really liked about it, but it's still overindulgent, overlong, and indulges in many of Zack Snyder's signature things that I don't particularly care for. Like weird needle drops in slow motion and over serious characters. But I watch all the DCEU movies, you know. I catch them all. They're like Pokemon to me, man. I can't help but catch them all. They're like STDs. I can't help but catch them all. You know what I mean? They're like COVID variants. Oops. Mark McKeever, Jeremy, watch the latest episode of Disney's Gallery on D+. It's dedicated to the behind the scenes of Mandalorian Season 2 season finale. A good portion of it was about filming Mark Hamill and the post-production process. I'm very interested. That's something I will definitely check out. To question, this ain't like having a Captain America and an Iron Man that we saw building up for years, but 3 Spider-Mans. Anyone who gets more time is offensive to other fans. Oh, that's a good point. Somebody's going to feel like they got the short shrift depending on who their favorite Spider-Man is. Point taken. I think that's an interesting point. Well, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Spider-Man trailer. I'm very excited about the movie. I think it's got just mad potential to be cool, and it's going to be great to see all these characters on screen again, on screen together. Let's just hope that it, you know, works as a movie as well as works as a experience for comic book fans. Let's just say that. And I really do appreciate, speaking of experience, really appreciate all of you that come by to make this live stream what it is every Saturday at 10 a.m. CST right here on the Movies Are Terrible YouTube channel. And also, if you do enjoy this and you haven't been by on Thursdays at 6 p.m. CST right here on Movies Are Terrible, I do a live stream there every single week where Caleb and I discuss the week's movie news headlines. Additionally, we like to talk about weird news, what's going on in the world of Florida, and take Patreon submitted topics from viewers like you. So if you want to consider helping this channel grow and continue to create content, maybe click the join button down below. That's the easiest way that you can support the channel. You get custom emojis as well as badges. If you want to go the extra little distance, head over and check out Movies Are Terrible on Patreon. There's a couple of different tiers. You can head over there, decide which one is right for you, and then when the time comes, you can consider supporting the Movies Are Terrible YouTube channel. Jeremy B. Terrible on all social medias, and I think that about covers the spiel. Anyways, thank you again. I'm Jeremy, and until the next video, come on back by if you want to check out my reviews of some horror movies. Shouts to everybody in the chat right now. Much love to all of you. I'm Jeremy, and until next time, be terrible. Bye.